Happy Valentine's Day. I know. It is what it is. Not selling anything today. I suppose I could turn on my lights. I suppose that's better. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day to Lindsay Lohan. I love you. I say Lindsay Lohan because she's not married. She can't be. Because I'm still eating banquet dinners. Backyard barbecue. Microwave. You know, there's something about Valentine's Day that I need to tell you. In 1981, it was on Valentine's Day that Olive Cash, the band, got together and played for the first time in 1981. By that time, I had written 50 songs. I didn't play guitar. I hadn't really officially been in the band except for Jack Black. Jack Black was the first band that I can kind of say that I was in. But I went to this first gig where I was supposed to sing, and the guitars decided it wasn't my night, and so I didn't get my opportunity. I decided to go elsewhere, and that's when I got together with a few guys. We got together and started Olive Cash. Although it was my baby, I would call it our band. I left it open to anybody else who wanted to write a song and contribute in that manner. But I wrote most of the songs. Kim, our keyboardist, had a friend, Carrie Price, and her sister, little sister, I forget her name, she wrote a song. She called it a poem, just like I called all mine. Mine's poems at one time. I don't even know if you call them songs. I just say putting words to sound. You know, not songs until they got all the parts to them, right? But anyways, Olive Cash got together in 1981 for the first time. I'd written about 50 songs and had a few strange experiences in there. I had started what I called 3 albums: Blue Moon, Wake the Dead, and Lover's Lane. And I was starting to think about Shade Tree. By 1982, summer of 1982, I had 5 albums: Blue Moon, Wake the Dead, Lover's Lane, Shade Tree, and Cash O'Live. Cash, spelled C-A-C-H'-E, O, meaning of or, and live, spelled backwards, is evil. So I had a stash of evil for my 5th album. It was a path that led to the Detroit Lion football team eventually, because shortly after that, a couple years, I asked a friend of mine if he could give me a title for a song. And he said, The Lighter Side of Darkness. I said, dude, I already had 5 albums. I said, that sounds more like a series. 7's my number. I was born on the 7th, so I'm going to I'll put 7 of them together. That's my path. I've started tooling around with that. And before you know it, I could sell my first album. This is one of my business secrets. I hate you motherfuckers that continue to not help me. I mean, I didn't have the money to finish it. I know he did. He's the one with 1,000 cattle on 1,000 hills. He's the one with the time and the resources. But the damn church that I go to, you know, they didn't even take it to a vote. That's what they used to do. I don't know what their problem is. I know the church would have split anyways. I was talking about that the night before the lightning bolt. You would not believe the stuff we were talking about inside of that 3 weeks in between. I'm telling you what, I got a huge story to tell you. I don't like people who come up to me and say, God told me to tell you, so I'm not going to say that to you. I can't stand those people. Like they got some kind of audio connection to God or something. You don't back up with the word what you're telling me. You're better off walking up to me and say, hey, God gave me an encouraging word. I think you might want to check this out or something like that. But God told me to tell you. Inside of a week, no, it's 2 weeks, as a baby Christian, I already told these guys and laughed about it that I wanted a Detroit Lion football team. And they joked and said, the Bible says God will delight yourself in the Lord and He'll give you the desires of your heart. And I said, really? See, I just met the God of the universe. And that's what it says. If He knows me, He already knows I want the Detroit Lion football team. What part of that don't you get? Why am I laughing? Because by the time I got up to Grand Rapids School of Bible Music and was asking the Lord for the Detroit Lion football team and telling Him what I was going to do with it and continued to build on it till voila, today. And my queen. I hear you. I love it when she does that. She's like, it's all about moi. She's so cute. That's Lindsay. Well, it's actually Chelsea, but I gotta call her Lindsay. Remember, we gotta make a switch. You're gonna help me, right? We gotta get to Ford Field. We're gonna call it the Lighthouse by the time I get done. I called it the Lighthouse Grand Rapids School of Bible Music. That's how that prayer ended. And I'm just laughing my ass off. We were busing people from these treatment centers that I was building to the game. I had digital verses. Nobody had to hold the sign anymore. I had digital verses. When the defense was on the field, I had defense verses. When the offense was on the field, we had offensive verses. The offensive verses I used in the prayer up at Grand Rapids School of Bible Music was the Great Commission. Go therefore and make disciples. And the defensive verse was flee the evil desires of youth and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace with those who call upon the Lord out of a pure heart. I'm walking around in the yard talking about what I was going to do with this. And I'm saying those things. And I'm laughing, and I said, Lord, people be bringing their Bibles to the games. You'll get all the glory. Why am I laughing? Any born-again believer that knows the Lord and looks at the big picture of my story, and when it you follow it and it gets to that lightning bolt, it passes all the tests. It ain't about me. It's about Him. It's about King and country. 7 days of concerts. I was talking about the King and Queen of Hearts. Esther, I didn't start calling my wife Esther until my dad, I think it was the second year at Grand Rapids School of Bible Music. I don't remember using Esther up on the roof, coming off the roof, so I think it was just shortly after that. because I was calling this King and Queen of Hearts on the roof. My prayer for my wife just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I had to get specific. I couldn't afford to be wrong. So with Lindsay Lohan getting married, I have to say I'm wrong. Because I'm going to tell you that's my wife. And because she's married, I've got to live with that. I built my life around her. I can't say it any other way. When I wouldn't have this lightning bolt if it wasn't for Lindsay Lohan. It's the truth. I went into the studio to finish my music. I was going to give it to my friends and tell them that I wanted to meet her. And then I was going to go back to church and tell them what I wanted to do. Why did I say that? Because I could never get the church to help me. So I figured, well, if I finish the music first and show them what I want to do, then they'll pray about it, maybe, kind of thing. Because they never even took it to a vote. I couldn't even get people involved. It would be secular music to them. And, it's people like Bruce Carroll from White Cross, incredible musician, turned down gigs. He could have been in, some secular music, secular band kind of thing. And that's his gig. That's his conviction. He can do that. But I would have looked at it as a witnessing opportunity and probably tried to put up with it for a minute anyways. I know I tried doing that with other musicians, but I certainly couldn't handle playing and work with drums. That's not a happy Valentine's Day. But anyways, to Lindsay Lohan, I love you. I don't care what anybody says. You're perfect. I don't know what y'all are going to think about this. We're going to see a lot more once my story's told. I can't imagine. I don't know how to take what I'm taking in now. I thank the Lord for it. Lindsay Lohan, it's time for 7. Time to get on that bus, number 7. I know she's loaded with 7s. I know it's Valentine's Day. I know if Lindsay Lohan is married, I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. That's not a threat. That's a promise. I know better. And I don't expect anybody to understand that, but you can't make this stuff up. I prayed specific for a wife, and she fit all the credentials, everything. She was everything, all of it. She was perfect. And then when I look at her life and everything, I pull out of everything that, as far as satire goes, I'm the king. I came out and took all the words. All the words are mine. All the pronouns are mine. I am Melchizedek. I know who I am. That's what he calls me. I don't care what you think anymore. That's what that lightning bolt's all about. It was a classic parent trap. Not only was I in love with her, he knew it. I laughed about it afterwards, and he gave me a lightning bolt because he knew I was going to need some help. I hadn't even talked to the pastor yet. I hadn't even got out of the yard. The stuff in my yard, I was saying, you got to be kidding me. Lord, they're going to call me a genius, and I got to turn around and tell them it's not my idea. Wait till I tell you what happened on the roof. I was laughing on the roof. Do we tell him now? It's Valentine's Day. I was laughing on the roof, started talking about the Antichrist. I said, Lord, why don't we just take it from him? So I hatched a plan. I told him, I said, let's just put my logo on everything. Nobody buy or sell without my logo. Oh boy, are we in trouble. Why am I laughing? Even before the identity politics, our identity is found in Christ. If you don't know the difference between a boy and a girl, good luck with your identity, because you're not going to arrive at the truth. You're going to make up something that ain't going to fly. You see, when it comes to Melchizedek, what's true for the believer is we're all priests in the order of Melchizedek. We all come in truth and grace. None of us are perfect. It's the blood, it's Jesus that covered our sins that makes us perfect. It's his perfect life, not ours. We're under grace. That doesn't mean we have a license to do whatever we want to do either. Just saying. I don't know what's happening. One minute I think people are helping me, the next minute I think they've forgotten. I'm going to have fun on TikTok and YouTube. This is going to be fun. Gave all the boys a day off. Walrus, Hulu Man, Wizard, my big head and big mouth, my gabby little douche named Earl. I do want to still build that parade for my boy Trump, even if it's imaginary. It's right here, baby. Happy Valentine's Day to the Trump family and the Biden family. I'm not going to be partial. This is a special day for all of us. Everybody shares it with somebody, one way or another. For 14 years since the Lord blessed me with that miracle, and I've contemplated telling my story on here. I wanted to meet Lindsay Lohan first. Like I said, I wanted to simulate the return of Christ. I think it's my selfishness that got in the way there. When you see how our stories mesh, you can't make this stuff up. It's going to be downright spooky. And I can't imagine what her prayers were like. And that's what I really want to know. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm praying for a wife in the front yard that was included when I was asking the Lord for the Detroit Lion football team. Green eyes. Just I gave him specifics. You guys, can't make this stuff up. The closer I got to it, the more I saw, and I just loved her even more. She's my girl. She's my world. I love Lindsay Lohan and her pattern. Limited time offer. Sip and say, Circle K. I might get $1 for that. Told you, that book I read tells me to sell everything I have and follow him. So that's what I'm going to do. So baby, this one's for you. Boing, boing. We gotta do that in the parade, you guys. We gotta. I want Trump on a white horse. Somebody that looks like Trump, or at least, represent him on a white horse. And on that white horse, I want faithful and true. Happy Valentine's Day, Mr. Trump. He's the big boy. Oh yeah, by the way, I was wrong about the Super Bowl. I thought Detroit was going to win the Super Bowl. I was wrong about marrying Lindsay Lohan, because she went and got married to some other dude that she thought was badder. We know that's not true. I'm badder than he is. Like Michael Jackson said, I'm badder than he is. Are you scared yet? They're getting ready. I'm gonna have to go make another phone call. Suppose we could do it right here. If I can lower my stab and tuck that stuff away here so don't get in my way. One of these days I'm gonna have to show you my pink dog with spots. Lindsay gave it to Charity, and Charity gave it to me. It's a long story. I told you I flew to London, right? Well, I met her. It was brave and it was sharp, and I knew I was with her and a couple of her friends. They put some in my dream. Last thing I remember, I was sliding out of my tailor-made box. All I could smell was sauerkraut and wieners. That's how I knew she was there. Lindsay, I mean. We're getting ready for the big event. It's going to be a big one. I want y'all to be there. Well, sorry this wasn't a real exciting video. I should tell more of my story. Not sure really where to go. My landlord had somebody come in, look at all the ducks. Had to fix my ducks, there ain't no heat. Out here in the back where while he kicked me out of the house. You can see that, can't you? But he still was trying to keep me warm. Good landlord. Just can't afford to have me live in the house anymore. So I'm going to try to sell all this stuff off the day trade. See if we can't get something going. I still want to build treatment centers. Forget the church. They don't follow the same God I do. They can't. How did they miss it? I'm the classic prodigal son. Hello. 12 years in the desert, come back with a lightning bolt. And I'm still sitting on it? How stupid are you? Stupid motherfuckers. I have no enthusiasm to really do anything. I just get angrier and angrier and angrier. Happy fucking Valentine's Day. You wanna fucking go to hell? Go to fucking hell. I don't really fucking care anymore. Jesus Christ is Lord. You don't like it? That's your goddamn problem. Like I said, that Quran, the Book of Mormon, the Catholic Bible, I got news for you. It's a yeast infection that stinks all the way to heaven. You say, oh, but they're beautiful books. Yeah, so was Gone with the Wind. That was a beautiful book. So happy Valentine's Day. You don't like it? I don't really care. He had something for me to do. Nobody paid no attention to it. So I just need to tell it like it is. It is what it is. Some of the stuff you guys are practicing, you better rethink what you're doing. That ain't no joke. That lightning bolt's all over it. Why? Because the biggest argument I had toward Christians and any other believers in the world was, you all can't be right. Not only when I became a Christian, inside of a week I was taking it to him and telling him how messed up his church was. And for some reason, my arrogant ass kept taking it to him. What do I say now? Me and my big mouth. Should have kept my damn mouth shut. I was talking to the God of the universe. I didn't know he was gonna give me a lightning bolt and tell me to shove it and put it where the sun doesn't shine. It doesn't shine on the Quran. How many times do we have to tell you, stupid butthead Muslims? Now, most of you, I'm going to say, you're pretty nice. And let me just say it like this. Happy Valentine's Day. When I was hurting, and I was in between jobs, and it was in Galesburg, I went to the rest area, and I was picking up cans. I was going to turn them in, buy me some bread to get me something to eat. And this guy walked up, gave me $20. Just opened up his wallet. He said, excuse me. I turned around, right there he was. He was dark complected, about my height. And I watched him walk back to his truck. I lifted that $20 to the air and I said, thank you, Lord. And thank you for that man. And I prayed for that man. And as I was praying for that man, I said, Lord, he was a Muslim, wasn't he? I wish I'd have asked him. I keep digging out them cans. I got that $20 in my pocket. He just gave it to me. 3 cans later, here he comes again with a bag of food and something to drink. You can't tell me that Muslims aren't nice people. I can't stand what you teach, and neither can my Lord. He can't stand it with a passion. And if you want to figure out what your problem is, you need to look at the history of your book and stop following that goddamn pedophile. You're kidding me, right? You really think I'm going to give up my 12-year-old daughter to marry somebody? You're out of your goddamn mind. It's better for you to tie a millstone around your neck and to throw yourself into the sea than to cause one of these little ones to fall. Can you hear me now? You're kidding me, right? So there you go. To all the Muslims out there. That's the truth. It's hard enough to let them go after they're out of school. There's an order, and 12 years old is not wife material. That's slave material. Evil. Any of you Muslims teaching that crap, that's just straight up evil. So, yeah, well, happy Valentine's Day. Should be a happier note. I missed out on my inheritance. All the money in the world. I could care less. I don't get the girl. It is what it is. That was my world. I built my life around her before I even knew her. That's a gimme. So, to all you Christians out there, I think you know something. Go pray about that. Fuck you and the lightning bolt I rode in on. Jesus Christ is Lord. The Bible is true, and your opinion doesn't count. That's a fact. Gotta deal with it. Sucks to be